welcomes you to the matchup between the Texas Longhorns, the #2 team in the nation, and the Baylor Bears.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joel Myers alongside Dave Lappman. Welcome to Waco. Well, Texas brings in a 15-game winning streak, an amazing road run as well. And going in, we knew it was going to be a good year for the Longhorns and Mack Brown. I don't know if anybody could have anticipated it was going to be this good, but we also did know at the start of the season that it was going to be a record-setting year for Vince Young.
Vince Young, Mr. Excitement, there's no question about it. And he is making a big push for the Heisman Trophy. No better two-way guy in college football. He can beat you with his jackhammer feet and that long stride. He can also beat you with his throwing arm. Look at the numbers at the bottom last week. Nobody has ever run for 267 yards and thrown for 239 in the same game. That is a college football record. And the area where he was so much better this year is the mental part of it. Understanding how to prepare. Understanding that what the defense is trying to do to take his offense away. And pre-snap reads, getting him out of bad plays into good plays. And he is spontaneous. When he creates plays, there's nobody better.
Well, the Baylor Bears may be the best 500 team you'll see in the nation this year. They feel they should be better than 4-4. They have not done a great job in the red zone. So going in today, only a second career start, they make a switch at quarterback and go with Terrence Parks.
Exactly. Looking for a spark. Guy Morris is looking for a spark, and he's hoping it comes from the big fella. 6'3", 265-pound quarterback. More size at quarterback. Vision down the football field. A stronger throwing arm, can attack all quadrants of the field. Quicker, more athletic, in and out of the pocket. They're looking for big plays out of Terrence Parks. What he has to do, though, against Texas and Bill Bradley's defense is make a decision and go with it, because Bill Bradley is the master of disguise. Don't second-guess yourself. Do whatever it is that comes to your mind first and execute it.
Classic day for football in the Lone Star State. Down to the
Baylor Bears making their way onto their home field, and welcome back. Kyocera College Football Saturday at Floyd Casey Stadium. John Radigan said Indian summer in Texas, first weekend in November, and for only the third time over the last 35 years, Texas going into the month of November with an 8-0 mark. Working the officials early as well. His 8th season, 15 straight wins, another first for Texas in a long, long time. Well, since they had the 30-game run back in the 60s with Darrell Royal.
19-1 over his last 20 games, Mack Brown.
And Guy Morris, who's turned things around for the Baylor Bears. He's in his 3rd season, and 2 more wins, bowl eligible.
Absolutely, and 2 games that I'll tell you what, they feel that they can handle. This one's going to be a tough one. There's no question about it. They go to Missouri. They play Oklahoma State. Not out of the question to qualify for a bowl and learn how to finish the games. That's the final step for Guy Morris and his troops here at Baylor.
That's a real windy day. Gusting way past 30 miles an hour. It's a 2-club win in Central Texas. Nothing to stop it around here. And John Radigan was just talking about it. Game time temperature, how good is this? It is absolutely perfect. Baylor won the toss. They have deferred. The best thing about Baylor, let's face it, so far this season has been their defensive unit. So they're going to have them on the field, Bill Bradley's group first. We'll talk about Bill a little bit later, one of the great all-time Longhorns, the defense coordinator here at Baylor. And it started back in 1901. Texas taking 7 straight, 11 of the last 12. Lamont Taylor, 11th in the nation in kickoff returns. Back with Quan Cosby, a guy who grew up not far from Waco in Central Texas. So here we go, Dave. Psyched. This is going to be a good one.
It will be a good one. And really, as you mentioned about Bill Bradley and this Baylor defense, it just goes to show you, if you play fast and furious and run to the football, good things are going to happen. And that's what's going on with this Baylor defensive football team. There's no doubt about it. We'll see it early on, right away in this football game. The wind's so strong, it knocked the ball off the tee. They have to have one of the cover guys on the kickoff team hold the football.
The junior from Odessa, Ryan Havens, as you mentioned, is going to need assistance this time. So Todd on the coverage unit is going to be holding on to the football. But it is downwind, as John mentioned. Wind to the back from the south for Ryan Havens. Lamont Taylor with a 29-yard average over to the far side. Quan Cosby on a march just a few minutes away from Waco over to the near side. And here we go with the line drive right on the end zone. What a shot.
Yeah.
Smart. He used his one arm.
He did. That was Tiger Woods right there.
Texas with one of the great offensive units in the nation. And our Kyocera starting 11, led by a guy coming off an NCAA first. Throwing for better than 230 and running for better than 250. Protected by Scott, Studdard, Sunline, Will Allen, and Blaylock. Boy, do they have experience up front. Ramon's Taylor in the backfield along with Ahmad Hall. Swede, Pittman, the wide receivers. Pittman, unbelievable with the big plays this year. And the record-setting tight end, he's 5 away from becoming their all-time leader in the top 3 categories as far as tight ends are concerned at Texas.
And Texas comes out with 2 tight ends to start the game.
Vince Young out of the gun, and it's batted away up front. Nice play up front by Marcus Foreman, the left end, the junior from Hewitt, Texas. Read it perfectly.
He did. You're taught as a defensive lineman when you can't sack the quarterback, and this was a quick set, and get rid of the football, get your hands up. Got that big left mucker up and took it right to the turf. Little volleyball spike right there.
Now, you didn't say McElroy like our producer. You said Mucker.
Absolutely.
Okay. 2nd and 10 from the 20. We'll keep Ramon's Taylor in the backfield with Vince Young. Brian Carter not suited up today. Taylor trying to bend it outside. Now against the grain. Nice cut. First down across the 30. Tripped up from behind. And making the stop for the Bears, Tyler Lindstrom. So a first down, not much you can do about that when you take away the run side, but it cuts it back against the grain. In the 4-3, Foreman, Rhodes, Jenkins, and Murphy up front. Montez Murphy, a very good one. Lindstrom, who made the stop, along with Colin Allred, Jamal Harper, the linebackers, and Lindstrom, of course, the safety in their 4-2-5. And then Wilson, the corner, along with Todd, the other 2 safeties. Willie Andrews, their record-setting return man.
2 tight ends again. 2 tight ends again, and trips right, Joel.
On a first down, a little slipstream, but dropped by Ramon's Taylor. He felt Lindstrom coming up and had to adjust quickly.
Absolutely, and Ramon's Taylor averaging 15 yards a touch. Now, you know, he's an all-purpose guy. He's kind of like Texas's answer to Reggie Bush. You know, he's a return guy, can run the football, catch the football. But, well, you don't see Pittman dropping the football very often. There's good chemistry going on between Vince Young and Pittman, and that's where the biggest development has occurred for this Texas Longhorn team. Vince Young and the development of those young wide receivers.
Taylor once again out of the backfield. On 2nd and 10. Taylor. No. Vince will hold on to it. Makes a miss. What a move. Past the 45. Lindstrom said, what got away from me? Well, Vince Young beyond the midfield stripe with a first down in Baylor territory as he slips into the 47. How shifty.
Wow, he's amazing. I mean, I've never seen a guy like him with his longest stride with jackhammer feet. Look at the double barrel blitz here, a little blood cross inside, and now he holds the football and makes people miss. Defensive end trying to make the play. Marcus Foreman, no can do. Now he's down the field, changing direction. He's got such an immensely long stride, but yet he can choke it down and give you the jackhammer feet, make you miss in space. I've never seen somebody able to do both as well as he does.
He just kind of glides above the surface, doesn't he? Taylor trying to glide his way and breaks a tackle. Should have been dropped in the backfield. He does get about 3 yards. But Vincent Rhodes, the redshirt freshman out of Denison, Texas, he had it for a loss of 2 or 3.
Yes, he did. You have to finish plays, you know, and make the tackle.
All right, Dr. Pepper, keys to the game coming in, David.
And for the Texas Longhorns, fast start. They want to, you know, score first. If they score first on the Mac Brown, they're 57-6. Don't let Baylor get in the game with a little bit of confidence and balance. Make Baylor defend the whole field and defend the run and the pass. And then be alert, be aware, because Baylor's got everything to gain, not much to lose. Watch for the fakes, trick plays, all that sort of thing.
Vince Young out of the gun. On 2nd and 7, he's got all day, and a low throw gets away from his intended target. He wanted Lyman Swede. In double coverage, coming close to the hash mark. Willie Andrews coming across.
Willie Andrews is an NFL guy, and Vince Young has great vision. The offensive line gives him big separation. That's catchable football. Now, it's not the easiest catch in the world because you can feel, you know, you can feel some contact coming, but you put that ball right on Lyman Swede's hands. And when the pink hits your hand, you got to squeeze it.
Well, coming in today, Vince Young on opening drives for Texas over the first 8 games this year, hitting 76% of his passes for 206 yards. He's also rushed for 88. They score most of the time on their opening possessions.
And he's had receivers drop 2 of his passes early on here, and he has to call a timeout.
So it's going to be the first of the half for the Texas Longhorns. When we come back, we'll find out what they do in Baylor territory, looking at a 3rd and 7. The number 2 team in the nation on the road in Waco. It's scoreless till Saturday afternoon in Central Texas. Joel Myers, Dave Lapham, John Radican. Longhorns roadshow continues. They have taken 12 straight on the road now. 24 of their last 25 away from home. That is amazing. No loss coming to that shootout in Texas Tech back in 2002. Now 3rd and 7 with a drive stay alive for Vince Young and the Horns. Shovel toss. Ramon's Taylor Won't get there. Put down just shy of the 40. It'll be 3rd and 3 in a punting situation.
And I think that's what Texas will do. I think they'll probably play field position. And here's what Bill Bradley does. Watch what goes on here. Actually, it's at the end of it. So what they were moving around trying to confuse Vince Young with a little bit of pre-snap look. Shovel pass, very safe deal. If it's not executed, basically what it is then is just an incomplete pass. And Mack Brown, confidence in his defense, is going to go for it.
Yeah, he's got great speed on the defensive side as well.
If this doesn't work out, you have to, look at the entire big picture, and you have to say to yourself, okay, well, worst case scenario, if we don't convert, what will my defense do? He has a lot of confidence in that side of the football.
From outside the 40, needs about 3.5 with Pittman going in motion. Plenty of time for Vince Young, and way off the target of Lima's Sweet. He turned in, ball went to the outside, and what a turnaround early for Baylor, and a pick-me-up for the Bears to get the ball outside of their own 40, Dave.
No question about it. And here basically Baylor just providing very good coverage here. Bill Bradley, he's incorporated some things. They bring 6, so but it's picked up very well by Texas. But the coverage is outstanding on the perimeter down the football field, and they just do a very good job. Bill Bradley's incorporated some coverages that he learned from the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets when he was coaching in the NFL, and supplemented this 4-2-5 defense with some of those different coverages, and has expanded it a little bit. And it's tough. It's tough for quarterbacks to get a handle on it.
Yeah, they'll spread it. They go 5 wide, empty the backfield. We anticipated this. Try to throw an early curveball at the Longhorns. Quick dump off. And good yardage on the outside. Sims takes it. He goes for about 16 yards. All the way to the 40, make it 11 yards. Up to the 49. And our Kiazera is starting offensive look for Guy Morris. Terrence Parks, 2nd career start. And that is it. Boy, what a task. Stone, Oskin, Blaylock, Boatner, LaQuillan McDonald, usually a guard, starts at right tackle. Sean Urchan, Trent Shelton, Dominique Ziegler will get the rest of them. Carl Sims, 5 wide receivers set. And Parks showing his footwork effectively inside the 40. He's close to another first down. Just short. Got a little more than 9.
Well, here comes Baylor now. They're juiced up. They went 5 wides, ran a bubble screen, and Trent Shelton got the great block in the bubble screen. Now what you have is quarterback reading the defensive end. Defensive end thinks it's going to be a zone play inside. And it's not. Terrence Parks says, I'm holding on to the football, and I'm going to sprint it up the football field. They're trying to get in the lanes, get in the alleys against Texas, and Parks did a good job of that. 265 pounds of him, moving those feet pretty well.
So all of a sudden, a 2nd and 1 situation. Ball to the 40. And Parks underneath has the first down. He goes out to Ziegler. That was a strong throw, wide side of the field. They say he's got a much stronger arm.
Right. And
his footwork, even at 245, 250, is advantageous.
Well, they're saying he's closer to 265, which is incredible. He can make all the throws, and this defense is going to be challenged.
Yeah, it's Crowder, Ocamp, Wright, and Arakpo up front, subbing for Robinson. Killebrew, Harris, and Bobineau are the linebackers. Harris, a Butkus Award semifinalist. And the corners are Brown and Griffin, with the other Griffin, Michael, at safety, along with Michael Huff, an All-American candidate. And the ball deflected at the line. Wanted to go out to Mosley, but Parks, with interference in front and congestions, there was some penetration on the quarterback.
Yeah, Roderick Wright got up the field pretty well. Good penetration, bull rush inside. And they're getting the ball out of the hands of Terrence Parks very quickly.
Dr. Pepper Keys coming in for Baylor.
Yeah, and Baylor, no self-destruction. They want to avoid turnovers, penalties, those kind of things. And they don't want to beat themselves, basically. And they want to finish plays, finish drives, finish the football game. They want to take advantage of all opportunities. When you're in the red zone, score a touchdown. Execute the big play when it's available. That's what they have to do.
5 wide, so 2 tight ends, and movement by the left guard.
Yeah, I think he had a flinch going on by Oskin. Oskin has gone to left guard, and as you said, the move to the right tackle position.
McDonald goes over there.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to call it on the left tackle, either the guard or tackle.
Right.
Could have been either one.
Flinching inside. And one thing that Texas will do a little bit is they will try to fool you on those pre-snap reads. And, they'll move around, they get some movement up front, stem a little bit. And when you're an offensive lineman, you just have to sit in there. You can't move. They can move. You can't till the football does.
They put Keegan Van, the H-back, on the hip, the tight end over the right side. Parks looking in that direction. Goes in the middle, though. And it's complete to Ziegler. He's right at the marker. So it's going to be 3rd and 10. He got the penalty yardage back. 3rd and 10 from the 36 of the Longhorns.
Two things I like. He's being decisive. Once he makes his mind up, the football is out. He's got a pretty quick release. He gets the football out of there quickly. And that's going to be a big key today. You can't hold on to the football. Get it out of there. And Brent Pease, the offensive coordinator, doing a good job of helping him with that. In the shotgun, if it's not in the shotgun, it's a 3-step drop. Get the ball out of there. He's very decisive early on.
Spreads him out again, Dave. 3 to the wide side, 5 overall. And Parks with the pocket holding up. Now it collapses, buys time. Ooh, the fingertips intercepted by Huff. Picked off after it should have been a catch for Carl Sims. Michael Huff, the strong safety, the senior from Irving, Texas, gives it right back to Texas.
Well, Terrence Parks does a good job of avoiding pressure in the pocket, and he throws a catchable football, but you're taught at an early age, when you run to the football, good things are going to happen. Roderick Wright flushes him out of the pocket. Parks steps up, and that's a football you have to catch. Sims doesn't. But, boy, that's just an excellent effort right there by Michael Huff, a very aware football player. John Radigan was talking about this football IQ, you know, at the beginning of this football game, and there's no substitute for hustle. And Michael Huff just got a hustle interception off the tip ball.
So 6th in the nation in total offense. Texas gets it back running an option. And on the pitch, Jamal Charles dives for big yardage on 1st down. A guy that's averaging, in fact, all their backs are averaging 5.6, and that's not including the 7-yard average for Vince Young. And I bring that up, Dave, because they are 3rd in the nation in rushing at 270 yards a contest.
And they can hit you for the home run. Last week, amongst Vince Young's rushing yards was an 80-yard touchdown, longest ever by a quarterback in Texas history, tied for 10th longest in school history. And then earlier in the season, Charles ran one against Oklahoma for 80 yards as well.
2nd and short. Charles again bending it outside. Will turn the corner. Andrews forces him out. He may be just short of the 1st down, and he will be. Just by a little less than a yard.
He hit a slippery area over there and went down pretty hard.
He's finally all the way back. He was nicked up early and had the ankle problem.
Right.
He's all the way back, though, and at 100%, as we talked to the Texas people earlier this morning.
Last week, he was suffering cramps at Oklahoma State. You can see him hydrating right now. He has to stay with hydrating, you know, in a day like today in particular. Night games, sometimes you don't realize how much fluid you're losing. In an afternoon game like this, you're going to lose a bunch.
Big Shelton, as in Henry Shelton. 1st down into the secondary. Try to bring him down. See if you can. He's got it. The true freshman from Grapevine at 6'3", 270. Marcus Meade got him in the secondary. Wouldn't want that task, though.
No, everybody has a role, and this big old man's role is short yardage and goal line. And helmets are flying off like bowling balls. You know, like he's a bowling ball hitting the pins. And that is one big human being right there. And he's got some decent vision. And he's got the, you know, he reminds me a little bit of Jerome Bettis. Those quick feet for such a big man. He's got some sweet feet on him.
We are scoreless. A little more than 5 minutes gone by in the opening quarter. And one of the highest scoring teams in the nation. In fact, Texas is 3rd best. On a play fake, Vince Young. Oh, damn. And what a grab inside the 5. Lyman Swede with the catch.
Left-handed, one-handed grab.
And he didn't put him up early to tip off the D-back.
And I think he's hurt when he hit the turf. I think he injured himself. Sometimes you hit the turf on your shoulder or your elbow. You get that one-point landing, a little play action. And Vince Young says, I'm going to throw. You know, they weren't fooled. There were 2 defenders back there. But what an outstanding catch with that left arm. The left hand and makes a play. But as he goes to the turf, he hits that left shoulder hard. And I think that's the injury. That one-point landing violently on that hard turf on that left shoulder.
Well, he's only a sophomore. Lima Swede from Washington, Texas. But as I mentioned to you when we saw it live, it looked like the last second. He didn't tip off the pass was coming in. He put that left arm up, and what a great one-handed grab.
Incredible grab with that left hand by Lima Swede. And of course, Lima Swede is going to go down in Texas football history. He's the one that made the catch against Ohio State.
Right.
I mean, the ball that was thrown by Vince Young to the corner of the end zone, and Lima Swede, as he's backpedaling, makes a tremendous catch. And boy, you certainly don't want to lose somebody that's so valuable to your wide receiver core at this stage of the season. What an outstanding effort, but boy, he looks like he's in in some rough shape.
Yeah, he brought it in and then got help from the defensive back to secure it, but he brought it in with the left hand.
Oh, it's just a valiant effort right there, and trying to violently rake at the football. Can't quite get it done as Maurice Lane. But Swede lands on the shoulder, then Lane lands on top of him. So Swede hits 1 point landing on that shoulder, and then the body weight of Lane on top of that. He's struggling a little bit with that shoulder right now.
It's going to be Jamal Charles in the backfield. First and goal inside the 5. Charles coming over to the near side. He's in, untouched. Touchdown, Texas.
Well, I'll tell you, what an unbelievable block by one heck of a tight end, David Thomas, on Willie Andrews. And David Thomas finished a block. You can't finish much better than taking a guy to the turf. Watch this right here on the corner of the screen. David Thomas kicked out Willie Andrews. Watch this block right here. Watch what happens here. Finish. Boom. See you later. Whew. That's big time. Knocked him off the line of scrimmage and pancake and put some enchilada on that bad boy.
David Pino in for the point after. He's been a busy guy in this department. Man, the Texas Longhorns don't get it. He pushes it. He blocks it up wide right. Okay. That's the way it begins for the Longhorns. Points off a turnover after the Michael Huff interception. Jamal Charles takes it in from a little more than 4 yards out. On top of Baylor, our Mitsubishi scoring drive. Well, after the takeaway, 5 plays, 68 yards. Didn't take long. We've got a lot of short drives for the Longhorns this year. And here we go with the kick. As Texas is going to have Greg Johnson kicking it away. It will not be Pino. Richmond McGee, their punter. He tried him as a place kicker to start the season. Over to the far side, it's going to be the return man for the Baylor Bears, Willie Andrews. Near side, Sean Rashan, who just a couple of weeks ago against Oklahoma returned 198 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, Johnson is the transfer from Vanderbilt. He's got a strong leg. He was a freshman All-American. And he's kicking into the wind. This is going to be a little bit different story here. Again, have to hold it on the tee because the wind keeps rolling it off of there. He's going to be kicking into that wind.
Yeah, stiff. Real tough wind. It's going to be Rashan. 98-yarder 2 weeks ago. How about a 95-yarder? He takes her to the 5, finds a lane to the 30, and a good return. Great field position again for the Baylor Bears. When we come back, they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. But first, a Dr. Pepper game break. Let's check in now. It looked like something out of gymnastics, didn't it?
Yeah,
what horse was he using?
He stuck the landing there. Stuck that landing pretty well.
That's Michael. On 1st and 10, first carry. Mosley makes it look easy for 11. Lowered his shoulder into the secondary. Paul Mosley, the junior out of Austin's Anderson High School at 6'3", 230, brought down by Michael Huff.
Yeah, you don't think he's excited to play, do you? Out of Austin, Texas. Mosley, he's got a chip on his shoulder about as big as a 2x4. And this is where Baylor is going to try to attack Texas. In the alley, off tackle. And they run to the strength of the formation. Tight end side, block down, guard pulls, gets a nice little block taking the linebacker to the turf. Excellent blocking up front, angle blocking, and then good job by Mosley reading it all.
Great field position to start the drive. Mosley won't be able to spin it outside. Riding him on the outside. Arapco puts him down.
Yeah, I would think that's where they may attack a little bit. Arapco is under 240 pounds, 6'4", 238. So I would think they say, you know what, we're going to go after him. Robinson has got a little bit of a calf problem. Robinson is not going to play today, the starter. So I think they may test Arapco a little bit in that running game. They've run at him 2 plays in a row now.
Yeah, great field position. Started at their own 40 for the 2nd consecutive time. Now this time, can they capitalize? It'll be 2nd, still 10. Parks after the play fake, buying some time, waggling on his own. And just before he crossed the line of scrimmage, he wanted Ziegler, but it wasn't going to get there. And it's going to be 3rd and 10. Good coverage downfield by Texas.
Yeah, they were all over the naked bootleg in terms of the routes. I think Parks should have tucked it, made an earlier decision to tuck it and go. He would have picked up some yards. He was very determined to get the football down the field. He does like to move the ball down the field. That was an area of concern that Guy Morris had with Sean Bell. His hesitancy to stretch the field with the football. Parks is stretching now. He's got a gun on him.
So now on 3rd and 10, out of the gun, keeping Mosley in the backfield. 3 wide receivers set. And movement this time on the right side.
Well, did you see again, Texas is stemming, moving as a defensive line, and Baylor's flinching. They can move laterally. You can't.
Hey, ball. First start. 57 on the offense. On your penalty.
It's difficult sometimes. Watch the movement here, and there's the movement, and it makes them flinch. You know, they start moving, you think, oh man, the ball must have been snapped. No, you have to be very, very disciplined and focused on the snap count. You can't move on movement. Defensive linemen can move laterally without any penalty.
So back to the 46 it goes. 3rd and 15 for the Bears. Deep drop by Parks, in trouble. Hot pursuit, and he'll be pumped out of bounds. Won't pick it up. The man who busted up the play from the very beginning, though, was linebacker Aaron Harris. Coming on the blitz, the senior from Mesquite. He chased him all the way from the pocket.
Yeah, and I like Parks' ability to create something. I mean, this was a pretty good job by Texas. They ran a little twist inside, and the linebacker came clean. And Parks showed he's got a little bit of speed. I mean, he's got some quickness and some speed to him. He's 265 pounds, and the coaches say he runs in the 4.65 range, and he looked like it right there.
No, they were thinking about it, but they've got this guy that's 7th in the nation with a 45-yard average. Daniel Sepulveda, who won the Ray Guy Award last year, the junior from Dallas. Now can he put it out of bounds?
Yeah, that's the key. The distance isn't a factor anymore. Now it's pinning him inside the 10 if he can.
Aaron Ross waits for the Longhorns. Can they get to it? It's down the middle and didn't get under that high fly ball with a high blue sky. So we'll come right back, and the Longhorns will have it deep in their own territory. Offensively, for the 3rd time, they'll have it at their 20 with a 6-0 lead over Baylor.
The only 2 teams in the country that throw it and run it for over 230 yards a game.
Out of the gun. Running play from Taylor. He's going to get some action today out of the backfield. He spins past the 22 to the 23. The most significant improvement for the Baylor Bears, Dave, has come defensively. You got to give Bill Bradley and Guy Morris a lot of credit for putting together his staff. And go back to last year, they gave him 37 points a game, 421 total offense. This year, it's now 20 points a game and almost 100 yards improvement in what they're allowing in total offense.
And it's all effort. I mean, they believe in the system, and they're playing very, very fast. And I'll tell you what, when you can cover a lot of mistakes by flying around the football field and pursuing the football.
Young on 2nd and long, sidearms it, and it's complete to his wideout, Nate Jones, sophomore from Texarkana. But a short gain again, only to the 25, 3rd and 5. C.J. Wilson quickly on top of the play.
Yeah, it was a good close on the football extremely well. And Vince Young throwing the ball accurately. Boy, that's tremendous coverage. And Andrews in the vicinity as well. They get after you in that secondary. That secondary is pretty well stocked.
First down line, all brought to you by Overstock.com, your online outlet. It is all about the O at Overstock.com. Now, what about the D for the Baylor Bears, trailing 6-0? And they keep the game early. Looking at 3rd and 5. Young with Taylor in the backfield. And underneath David Thomas, does he get there? I don't think so.
No.
Great grab by their sensational tight end, but he's going to be short. Oh, he got a great spot. He did get a great spot. Should be enough. Nose of the football on it, and they'll move the chains.
I thought Willie Andrews did a heck of a job of making a great reaction. And they are going to move the chains. Vince Young gets rid of the football quickly. A little shallow cross by his tight end and leads him very well. It's not where his body is. Where's the football? And boy, it is close.
Tough angle that time.
It's close.
David Thomas, already their all-time leader among tight ends in touchdown receptions, career receiving yards by a tight end, and came in 5 times of their all-time leadership when it came to receptions by a tight end. Pat Fitzgerald owned that.
And he can block. You saw him in the touchdown run, the old pancake block on Willie Andrews.
So on first down, Taylor adjusting again, gets 4. Anytime you can hold Taylor to 4, you've done a good job.
You're right. And the thing that Baylor's doing a good job of, you described it on the first run that he had, Joel. Defensively, your theory is to stop it at the point of attack. Now, this is the point of attack. They're stopping it there and making a cut it back. The unblocked guy has to make the tackle. I mean, that's all you can do. If the defense does their job where it's designed originally to go, and he cuts it back, and you're unblocked on the backside, you have to play the proper gap responsibility and make the tackle.
It'll be 2nd and 6. Ball just shy of the 30 for the Longhorns. spread him out. And Vince Young calling his own number. Boy, what a cut. He got a little seal from the wide receiver downfield on that side. He had Pittman over there, Gatewood over there, and they just ran some interference.
Yep, Gatewood made a great block down the football field. He actually sealed a couple. And Vince Young's doing the same thing. He's just keying the backside defensive end. And he doesn't stay at home. Look at Gatewood come in there and just body up a couple of defenders, allowing Vince Young to get to the perimeter. But on that particular play, Marcus Foreman, defensive end for Baylor, has to stay at home. He has to read his keys a little bit better. He can't chase the zone play from the backside, give Vince Young the opportunity to keep it and abuse him like that.
At the midfield strike, Vince Young on 1st and 10, and it's going to be a false start that time of the Longhorns.
Right, and the same type of thing. Baylor showing blitz. They're moving around at the line of scrimmage, and you can't move on the defense's movement. As long as they're not in the neutral zone, they're not doing anything illegal.
Number 73, offense, 5-yard penalty.
So,
Repeat first down.
a rarity for Texas. They don't beat themselves. That's one thing about this team. A very disciplined team for Mack Brown this year. 15 straight wins coming in. That is the second longest to the USC Trojans. USC going into the game today with 30 consecutive. In fact, don't forget the longest in Longhorn history, a 30-gamer. The Coach Royal squads in the 68, 69, and 70 seasons. Bill Bradley, part of the 68 team. Vince Young, or Megan Ramon Taylor, running like a Heisman Trophy statue with that arm out in front and the knee raised up. He's got it inside the 45 down to the 44.
You talk about depth. You know, I mean, you have some problems at the running back position because of the injury. 2 tight end formation, and here, watch the counter play. Here come the backside linemen pulling it up in there, and Ramon Taylor doing an unbelievable job of changing direction. He looks like a skier. Watch him get on the edge of his skis as he makes this cut.
Good call.
Plant, boom, there he goes. Now he's inside the flag, and he's downhill further. I mean, just tremendous cut on his edges.
Yeah, we're all blue runners, and he's on black runs.
Yeah, exactly.
Diamond runs if he likes. Taylor again, and shut down. Believe it or not, maybe lost a half a yard. He's still inside the 45. It'll be 3rd and less than 5 for the Longhorns. Shifty Ramon Taylor, though. Gang tackling. That's all you can do is try to surround him. Get a circle around this guy.
Yeah, they have so much speed. I mean, when you look at Texas, it's just phenomenal what they can put on the football field. Ramon Taylor was a tremendous high school track athlete. You know, and then you look at the tailback position. Jamal Charles was as well. I mean, Ramon Taylor and Jamal Charles, they were incredible. It's almost like an Olympic relay team. Vince Young, Ramon Taylor, and Charles. Instead of a baton, they're handing a pigskin around.
So now it's going to be 3rd and call it 5. Hitting the slot man. He's been a favorite target for big plays for Vince Young this year. Out of the gun, only a 3-man rush. So time for Young. Eludes the man. And coming back, great grab. Lima sweep. He's got it. And he's back in the game with a 1st down. Inside the 25 to the 22.
Marcus Foreman is the guy that cannot make the play on Vince Young. And Vince Young just creates. And what right there, that's a sack opportunity. Can't quite happen. And now you break the defense down because you get out of pocket and you buy some more time, and Swede finds the open spot and he catches the football. I mean, that's just Vince Young creating at his best, spontaneously.
So miraculous recovery. Snap. Young took his eye off it. He's down. A long loss back to the 39. So a loss of 17 yards. And they'll put him at the 38 actually. Make it 16.
That'll get you off schedule. And looked like he was starting to move before the ball got there. I mean, it looked like he was actually taking off before the arrival of the football.
And it was a hot snap.
Yeah, it looked like it might even been a little bit late getting there. And realized I better start snapping this thing. I'm not in rhythm. And try to put a little bit of juice on it and mishandled. That's a rarity right there.
So all of a sudden now, back to the 38. Guy that's averaged 7 a carry on 3 carries coming in, Vince Young.
Just to call another timeout.
Yes, that'll be the 2nd for the Longhorns. So we'll keep it right here. It's going to be 2nd and better than 20 coming up for Texas. They had the 5-yard mark off and the 1st down.
Well, talk about self-destruction. It's something Baylor didn't want to do. On this particular drive, Texas is doing it. You have a 5-yard penalty as you described, and then a mishandle of a shotgun snap, and you're off schedule. I mean, Greg Davis, I don't think any offensive coordinator has many plays in the playbook for 2nd and 27.
Let's head down to the sideline. John Radigan, what's the latest, John?
Hey, Joel, I want to wish you a happy National College Football Day to both you and Dave. Yeah, it's the 2nd annual National College Football Day. This was a holiday, a national holiday created by the SBC Cotton Bowl Classic. The pin I'm wearing denotes that it is, in fact, National College Football Day. It was 136 years ago tomorrow that Rutgers and Princeton played the first ever college football game. 100 fans showed up for that one. This is how the game was described. It was replete with surprise, strategy, prodigies of determination and physical prowess, and that's how one player described it. College football players were different 136 years ago, guys. Back to you.
Man, was Ernest Hemingway playing in that game? somebody had a nice vocabulary.
A lot of English majors that were patrolling the sidelines in those days.
And I'm thinking that was a Princeton player, those Ivy Leaguers, you know.
Down at 2nd and close to 25. Young. And indecision cost him. So he's dragged down from behind by Julian Hill, the junior from Katy. Almost like, should I take it out behind my wall? Because he had run left, but he wanted to bring it back into the grain.
Yeah, I agree with you. And at the end, look at the Baylor kind of vacating that area, and it's soft right there. And if he had stayed with that, I think it would have been a better decision. But he decides to cut back late. Hill, pursuing from the backside, does a good job of finishing.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 20. Final minute of the first quarter. And the Longhorns, huge favorites coming into this game. Only up by 6. The blitz off the edge. Isolation. And there was contact, but no flag. Lima Swede bumping his way down against Anton Weidman, the sophomore from Lindale.
Weidman used the sideline as a 12th defender. Swede's 6'5", Weidman's 5'11", and you see him kind of just push, and Swede ends up getting frustrated and pushes Weidman down. I mean, if anything, it could have been called offensive pass interference, and you can't get frustrated like that. Weidman had position and kind of pressed him to the sideline, and Swede pushed him down from behind.
Wow, this is a surprise. Into this win, Pino is going to try a 52-yard field goal. What about a fake here?
Boy, it's an awful long distance for a fake. Man, it's 4th and 20-something.
And they will. Pooch punting. Smart play into the wind. Now can Texas corral it? Yes, as it heads sideways. The Longhorns keep it out of the end zone. It'll be put down just shy of the 1. Smart play.
Yeah, it was. It ended up being a punt formation, basically. You know, you have some versatility at the kicker position. Nicely done. Just turns into a punt.
Yeah, looking back, there's been some great matchups between these two teams. We go back to October 12th, 1963. Texas. OU. Tommy Ford with a TD run.
Tommy Nobis was the left guard on that offensive play. Here he is playing some D.
And then Tommy Nobis coming up with a big play as well. How about a pick? It's Tommy Nobis again, San Antonio guy. And then
Scott Appleton had 18 tackles in that game. Was the player of the week in a big battle.
And Texas, of course, against Baylor, as Texas was the #1 team in the nation at the time. Parks on first down. Nothing there. Just trying to find some breathing room. Got a yard and a half. Takes it out to the 2, and that's going to be the final snap of the quarter. So now it's going to be into the wind for Parks throwing the football. Into a stiff breeze out of the south. But so far so good for Bill Bradley and his defensive unit, with only 6 on the board for Texas.
Yeah, Texas helped immeasurably on that last drive. A little self-destruction.
So that's the end of the first 15 minutes of play. Well, the #2 team in the nation missing an extra point on top of the Baylor Bears by GSR College Football Saturday. Welcome you back once again to Waco, Texas. We get ready for the start of the second quarter here in Waco. But don't forget, later tonight, you ready? Get comfortable. It'll take a while because it's at Texas Tech right here on Fox Sports Net. FSN, it all kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern. 4 out of the West Coast. Number 17, Texas Tech. Number 1 in the Big 12 in total offense. Are watching the number 2 team, Mac Brown's Longhorns. They take on an Aggie team that's really struggled. Coverage all starts. The kickoff show. Don't forget with Michael Eaves and the guys at the studio. 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on FSN. Yeah, how about those quarterbacks going at it tonight?
Man, Hodges just putting up ridiculous numbers. Baylor and Bill Bradley had him as confused as anybody has all season long last week.
Yeah, they did. They held him in check.
Yeah, they did. And did the same thing to Reggie McNeil when Baylor played Texas A&M. And as we've talked about a few times, that's a dramatic improvement is what this Baylor defense has done. And this is a huge possession right here because the field position, you can't be any worse for Baylor. They have to punch it out of tough field position. And if they don't, they're going to be punting into the wind. The second quarter is where Texas has really done a number on people. Just incredible. 86 points they've outscored the opposition in the second quarter alone.
Whitaker takes over as a single to the backfield from the 2 for a snap of the second one. It's 2nd and 9. It'll be Whitaker. Barely gets out of the end zone. Huck came up to safety. Pushed him inside. He spun his way out of the end zone. Brandon Whitaker, a little guy at 5'10", 190, a sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma.
It's a good job by Huff turning it inside to where his teammates and friends are. You know, this is almost a reverse goal line scenario. You're going to play close to the line of scrimmage, and Baylor's going to try to punch it out of there. Now on 3rd and long here, do you go with some sort of a play action fake out of the shotgun to freeze the linebackers and throw it? What do you do?
Showing the blitz off the edge. Go the other way with Whitaker, and he can't get out of the backfield. Down low and tribute up. Tim Crowder, the left end, a junior from Tyler, making the stop. No gain of the carry and field position. You're punting into the wind.
Yep, that's the thing.
Texas should get it easily around their own 40.
Should be a short field for the Longhorns, and the defense responded to the special teams excellence. Now that Texas out of the field goal formation, direct snap to the kicker. And, Pino does a great job.
Well, everybody talks about how great the Virginia Tech special teams are. What about that Mac attack and the blocks they've had?
Yeah, 39 blocks since the year 2000, the most in the country. And they've had 48 blocks since Mac Brown has been head coach.
So Palmetta is going to be punting away to Aaron Ross. And on a couple of hops, tailor-made hop. Boy, like a shortstop from the 45, and he's out of bounds with flags on the play. It'll be a block in the back.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the guy who made the block was Nate Jones. He didn't get his head in front of Nick Moore as Nick Moore was covering the punt. So a short field is not going to be as short as it should be. Another self-destruction. There it is right there. And that's the illegal block in the back. And there's another one. And now you have a hit well out of bounds. So, boy, we got some offset going on.
Either way, Texas is going to be in pretty good shape field position-wise. And we've got experience down on the sideline as well.
Sorting it out right now. Here's the
1 live ball, 1 dead ball. We'll penalize the live ball first. It was an illegal block in the back. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. We'll go 10 yards, and then we'll penalize. Dead ball. Personal foul on a kicking team. 15 yards from there. It'll be first down.
So basically Texas nets a positive 5 yards off of those penalties.
They've got it in Baylor territories, we suspected, and they're going to have it all the way almost at field goal position for Pino at the 32 of the Bears, up 6-0. So the best case scenario for Mac Brown and his Longhorns. Now can they get things going offensively? This is going to be their 4th possession of the game. The early points came off a takeaway, a turnover, interception by Michael Huff off a deflection where Sims should have had the pass from Parks. And they took it 68 yards for a score. Pino missed the extra point though. So Vince Young with Lamont Taylor in the backfield. And David Thomas. Perfect toss by Young. Thomas saw him coming. Put down by Tyler Lindstrom. And glad for David Thomas he did see him in time.
Yeah, there's no question, but Texas does such a good job of this. Once they get the running game going, they're going to do the play action fake of the inside zone and then throw the football. And Thomas does such a great job of finding holes in the zone. And Young hits him. Thomas is a legitimate, an All-American Mackey Award candidate for sure. He's the real deal at tight end.
Dead ball coming up. It's going to be a false start of the Longhorns again.
Every time they get near the red zone, they seem to have self-destruction.
Dead ball. False start. 73. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So it's going to be 1st and 15. Joel Myers, Dave Lapham, John Radigan. We're in Waco, Texas. Good Big 12 matchup at Floyd Casey Stadium. As the #2 team of the nation on top 6-0. But hurting themselves. So little mistakes like that in the early going. And I want to talk about the plus-minus as well. That's one of the surprising numbers I saw getting ready for the game this week. Normally when you're #2 in the nation, you're at the 20, plus 20, plus 15. Ramon Taylor sealed on the right side. Breaking tackles into the secondary. 1st and goal all the way to the 5. Boy, he just kept it moving. He did not quit on the play when it looked like they were trying to tackle him high.
Exactly. You know, a guy like this, he's going to keep those knees churning. And he is just an incredibly dynamic running back. 2 tight ends just mashing people. I mean, look at the 5 yards down the football field, and you can't arm tackle this guy.
Yeah, and he actually ran into Lima Sweet. His wide receiver slowed him down momentarily.
But that was, you talk about washing the right side of the line of scrimmage up the football field. Ooh, big offensive line from Texas. The big boys up front reestablished the line of scrimmage. Baylor's front 7 was on skates there.
So Ramon Taylor playing in front of a lot of family and friends. Ben Chung trying to find the goal line and almost got there. So Vince Young makes it 2nd and goal to the 1. But back to the plus-minus. They're dead even.
Right.
14 takeaways, 14 turnovers for the Texas Longhorns.
Now they're plus 1.
Right. Off their takeaways coming in, 77 points, an average of 5.5 points off a turnover. And that's strong because at the same time, they're just giving up not even quite 3 off of their giveaways.
Right. They're giving up 40 points off of their 14 giveaways. And they're Vince Young showing his strength right there. Vince Young is 6'5", between 235 and 240 pounds. Vince Young has got some strength, man.
Henry Shelton. He had their first score. Will he get their second? He's got it easily.
Melton gets off the ball at 270 pounds. That is one big horse. Short yardage goal line is his role. Everybody has a role that ultimately is defined. Melton's right now is getting the short yardage plays. Short yardage goal. And look at the push on the right side of the Texas offensive line there. Boom. Come off the ball and knock him backwards. And it's, boy, that one was too easy. You know, the thing about Baylor, they're starting 2 defensive tackles. One of them is out for the first half of the game, Michael Gary. M.T. Robinson suspended for the game. They got in a fight at Study Hall and disciplinary action. And boy, the interior got rolled off the ball right there. They're missing those 2 big boys.
Pino for the point after. Much better this time as he hooks it inside the upright. So Melton with the score. His 2nd of the game, his 8th touchdown of the season, only 53 carries. And the Longhorns now lead by 13. And they got 0 out of that on short fields. First down line, all brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It is all about the O at Overstock.com.
You have very little margin for error when you're playing against the #2 team in the country. And Baylor has made too many errors, unfortunately, for them. You have to almost play the perfect game. And there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. As soon as you make a mistake, oh, man, how badly this was.
On first down from the 20, little flare for Whitaker. Nice kick-out block into the secondary. First down all the way across the 40. He's got 21 yards. Michael Huff on his back. Got a nice kick there.
Yeah, sure did. It was well designed, well conceived. McDonald, the big right tackle, down the football field. Watch McDonald, number 77. Once it's on the edge, McDonald's down the football field trying to make a play. That's a big body guy, 340-pound guy down the field trying to block the little people. He left his feet too soon. He tried to throw the cut block too early.
This Baylor squad has played everybody close this year. Shut out last week, but it was a lot closer than the score indicated.
Oh.
And a bad snap over, off the fingertips of Parks. Now going to make something out of it. Good idea. Throws it by Sean Rashawn.
Linemen were downfield, though. It's going to be an eligible receiver downfield, and you can't blame them because they think, now their clock and their head's all messed up, and they see they realize their quarterback's running for his life back there, and a couple of linemen leaked downfield as he was out of pocket throwing it away.
And David, didn't look like a bad snap. Actually, it looked like a hot one, but
yeah.
Parks trying to do it too quickly.
Yep. That's the second shotgun snap that's been mishandled, one for each team. And he's looking at the coverage. He's got his eyes down the field. You got to look the ball in. His eyes are looking down the foot, and he's realized, oh, brother.
Downfield on the offense, number 76, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's on Boatner, but you could have named a couple.
Yeah, they started definitely leaking down the football field, but you know, I can understand where Terrence Parks, the young man, is. He wants to keep his eye. That's the one reason, interestingly enough, Bill Walsh never ran one shotgun snap with Joe Montana, any of those quarterbacks, because he did not want his quarterback taking his eyes off the secondary. And when you're running a shotgun, you have to do that.
Whitaker making a miss straight up the gut. Close to a first down. In fact, he's got it. Inside the 45 to the 43. Brought down by Terrell Brown in the secondary.
Well, usually when you have a play right up the gut like that, right here, Blaylock in the middle is getting something done. Blaylock does a good job. Left guard does a good job. And it's nothing fancy. It's just get up the football field and make your blocks. And I'll tell you what, a couple of guys certainly did that. You got to give Oskin credit as well as Blaylock inside.
Don't forget, this is against a Texas defensive unit that is 7th overall in the nation, just giving up 299 yards a game.
Whitaker got upfield right now, didn't he?
Parks on first down. Man, alertly tucks it. Nothing downfield. A positive. Give him close to the 40. They put him down at the 41. Arakpo got to him the defensive end from behind.
I think that's one of the biggest things that he's done well today, is making a quick decision and sticking with it, not second guessing himself. Well, look at the improvements they've made defensively from last season to this season. Gene Chizik has done a heck of a job, and so has Akina, working with him as a co-defensive coordinator. And the numbers speak for themselves.
It'll be a 2nd and 8. Man, Whitaker almost tripped up by his own man, making the most of that run. They're going to say he was down, though. Boy, it looked like he was on a body. So they put him down a couple of yards shy. You can hear the fans in the background. This is almost like a home game for Texas, Dave. They've got, what, it's only about a little less than a 90-minute drive from Austin to Waco.
Right, and the pulling guard, Boatner, got tripped up, and he couldn't get out there in front. So
did his knee go down?
Now Whitaker's out there naked without a blocker.
Yeah, he was on a body, so he loses 2 yards on that. Instead of the 35, the 37. Different play call. Instead of 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 4.
No question. Guy Morris looking for a spark, and this is the area of the field where a spark has to occur. Somebody has to make a big play.
He put Mosley out wide. Parks in trouble.
Nice.
Recovers nicely. Ziegler for the first down. Boy, the kid did a good job with footwork. There's a flag on the far side, though, and Mosley was set up, and he got over to that position, the running back, very late at the wide receiver, outside the wideout.
Yeah, did Ziegler, were they set for a full second? When you get out there, you have to be set for a full second. And were they set for a full second before the snap of the football? And that's the big question.
Illegal shift on the offense, number 17, never got set.
Never got set.
5 yards. Previous spot.
And you could see Parks motioning, get out, get out.
Yeah, and here he is, and he's still moving around. The ball snapped. You have to be set for a full second, and he's not in a set position for a full second before the snap of the football. And he was lonely out there. He was Gilligan. He was on the island all by himself.
And he just took a first down away.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I'll tell you, I like what I see out of Terrence Parks. He's creating some things out there now.
Well, they liked his footwork. And they told us that earlier this week on a conference call.
And they like his arm strength.
So out of the gun. Now 3rd and a little less than 10. In trouble again. Gets a late chip, and then he gets hit hard as it falls incomplete. Hawk coming over the back of the wideout. Shelton. The ball was fluttering, though, and almost intercepted by Michael Griffin after the deflection.
Yeah, and once a defender gets his hand on the football, Roderick Wright is in hot pursuit. Whitaker does a little peel back block on him, and man, contact, the ball goes airborne, and Roderick Wright just gets a heck of a shot in there. And now it's a free ball. Texas almost comes up with their second takeaway of the day. And I think Baylor's going to, into the wind, play a little field position, try to back Texas up. Can't kick a field goal here into this wind. It'd be equivalent to kicking about a 68-yarder.
Aaron Ross going back deep for the Longhorns. Now Sepulveda. We talked about it. Can he keep it out of the end zone?
Easier for him this time. Get it up that elevator shaft into the wind. He was kicking with the wind at his back and couldn't get the ball inside the 10. Might be easier for him this time. Delay a game they're taking to give him a little bit more real estate to work with.
Number 37, offense, 5-yard penalty.
And he has had a punt of over 50 yards or more in 28 games.
But as you said, they don't need it here.
No, they don't need it here.
And he already had one situation when they stalled inside the Texas 45, but he couldn't get it to dive. It was headed the other way. Now into the wind. Boy, low line drive. He didn't get it high like he wanted to, and it's going to be in the end zone for a touchback. He needed a wedge.
Yeah, that's I mean, he'll be disappointed in that. 2 opportunities instead of inside the 20, 2 touchbacks. That's 4.
The Baylor Bear marching band over there. We've got the Texas marching band as well with us. And welcome back to Waco. Perfect football Saturday.
The pageantry of college football, Big 12 football in Waco, Texas.
Yeah, it is a great atmosphere. How about those barbecue turkey legs? Corn on the grills as well. Shuck it yourself. It'll be a first down pass for Vince Young, or will he run with the football? No, he'll throw it. He waited, and on a post corner route, it's complete. Is Whiteout on that side, coming all the way across. Quan Cosby, who played his high school football here in Martin, not far away from Waco.
Yeah, and got an $85,000 signing bonus to play baseball, so he went that route. Now he's back playing college football. And as you described, Joel, crossing pattern, one side of the football field to the other. And Vince Young, he makes these kind of throws very well. He has a very, very nice touch on those play action passes to open quadrants of the field. He leads them perfectly.
Quan Cosby, as you mentioned, a 22-year-old true freshman. Now a little touch for Jamal Charles back into the game, and they barely got him down after a gain of 6 out to the midfield stripe. This is going to be so difficult for Bill Bradley. They've had some tough games this year, and games that their defense has kept them in. Bill Bradley, of course, second year as defensive coordinator for his old Philadelphia Eagle teammate, Guy Morrison. What a job they have done, though. From 92nd in the nation last year in total defense to 32nd this year. And don't forget, every time he has to face Texas, it's got to be a little tug at his heart. He was former quarterback, 66, 67, right. And then what a defensive back for him in 68.
Played a little receiver as well. I mean, a gifted athlete. Very good football player.
Jamal Charles finding a little crease, not much. Tripped up, short of the first down by a yard. Down to the 47.
Jamal Charles in high school had the fastest hurdle time in the country. And then on the other side of things, Ramones Taylor was the state long jump champion when he was in high school. That's what I'm talking about, the speed, quickness, explosion of these athletes in Texas. It's incredible.
It'll be 3rd and a yard. Jumbo look. Anytime we got Henry Melton in the backfield, it's a little large. Thomas on the right side, they'll go that way, and he'll get it easily. He's got it, scrambling his way down to the 41 as we check in with John Radigan.
I'm not sure the sideline reporter wearing a skunk hat does anything, but there you go, guys.
All right, Charles can't hang on. Thanks, John. As Jamal Charles had a good look.
Yeah, you like the tail?
Don't raise that tail, John. Don't raise that tail.
And
you know, if it wasn't so hot, I'd wear it the rest of the game, but it's kind of hot down here, so I'm going to take it off.
And what about the fragrance? The odor that thing is emitting right now.
That's what I'm saying. Don't raise that tail. When that tail raises, it's trouble. You got to run.
All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to raise it, and I'm not going to wear it because look at the people up here are already looking at me funny.
That doesn't take the hat, John.
Skunk him, John. Skunk him down there, bro.
So drop by Charles on first down with the circle pattern out of the backfield. Nice throw by Vince Young. On 2nd and 10, Charles with a huge lane and close to a first down. When you can run the football like that, you don't have to put it up all that often. But
you get the big people starting to take control of things up front. Watch them come off the line of scrimmage. It's nothing fancy. I mean, it's just coming off the football, and all it is an inside zone and sorting it out. And take control of the line of scrimmage, and then just let Charles pick and choose. And you saw no green helmets in Charles's way. I mean, they just covered him up.
Vince Young, quick count. Man, it's all his. First down. We talked about the offensive line. You've got first team all Big 12 last year, Jonathan Scott on the left side. Honorable mention all conference, stuttered left guard. They've got 3 seasons as a starter for their center send line. Will Allen, also honorable mention all conference last year, right guard, first team at right tackle.
Well,
that's pretty tough to find.
Yeah, when you look at these guys, the vision is a key. Everybody talks about vision and seeing things. They are so patient, and they let all the stunts and twists and all the tricks of the defense unfold and get their helmet on people.
Well, they run this time on first down, and Charles bouncing to the outside with another first down, and I bring that up because each of their last 3 first downs had been pass plays for the Texas Longhorns, but this time on the ground and effective.
Greg Davis changing it up. Nothing fancy there either. All it is just coming off the ball. Did you see the block that Thomas had on the edge?
Yeah, he had a seal.
I mean, he just took him off 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. It was the second pancake of the day for Thomas. I mean, this kid is the complete package. 6'3", 245-pound tight end. The big boys up front right now, they're in the huddle saying, let's keep running the football. Let's call a run play.
And David Thomas, second team all-conference last year. How many first team all-conference guys are you allowed to have on one team? Lamont Taylor won't get out of the backfield. Good early penetration into the backfield. He helped blow up the play with Marcus Foreman coming off the edge. And finally, they corral him, and it's a loss of a yard for Taylor.
And right here, it seems like Baylor has a pretty good handle on what's going on. They're going to force it quickly, and everybody separates off the block and makes a play. I think they're realizing that Texas is trying to gash them off tackle, and they're going to make some adjustments. Bill Bradley's not going to let it go on all day long, and have one limping off the field right now. One of the big boys, a little hitch in the giveaway.
Yeah, Mike Garcia, one of the backups who's been in there for this series. Mike Garcia, guard, the senior from Galena Park High in Houston. And he did start a few last year when Will Allen went down.
He's got a little bit of a limp going on that right leg. And that's the thing. Texas rolls people in their offensive and defensive lines. I'll tell you what, their offensive line, their defensive line, their secondary, and their quarterback are amongst the best in the nation. When you have that many units that good, you're pretty good. You're number 2.
It's going to be second and a dozen. Now the shovel for Taylor. Well read. And dropped easily. And there was Jamal Harper out of the secondary.
And Ramon Taylor gets up saying, that was mistimed. I mean, that seemed to take forever to develop. It took a long time for this thing to unfold. And then the shovel pass finally occurs. I mean, Baylor got some penetration that caused a little bit of a problem, I think, with Vince Young, but pretty good effort by Jamal Harper at the linebacker level.
He's out of Adams High School in Dallas. And now a big third down for the Bears defense. Can they hold him to a field goal try? With the wind at his back in a passing situation on third, a little more than 13, almost 14. Young out of the gun. All day. And across the middle, he's got Charles, who checked that Pittman. But he's short of the first down by about 3. Now if you're Mac Brown, you've already succeeded on 1 fourth down. Do you do it this deep when, let's face it, to make it a 2-score game, you need a field goal?
Well, that's true. And spreading the football field, you do have a tight end in the protection. Look at the protection. Nobody is within 5 yards of Vince Young. And then ultimately the crossing pattern takes place. And the Longhorns right now are going for it. They're going for the jugular.
And actually a 3-score game, unless they're going to have a couple of touchdowns, a couple of 2-point conversions.
Remember, if it's unsuccessful, they're backed up into the wind again.
So now on third down, Young on the pick with Taylor. Will he get there? Dives real close.
Man, I'll tell you, for him to make Lindquist miss like he did was amazing, because Lindquist was right there to make a play on it, and Taylor just a little dipsy-do, and he gets it done.
I actually thought Young had a better shot.
Look at 15 in the green. I mean, he comes up the football field and he forces it now, because Billy Pittman was responsible to block him. But Lindquist said, "You're not going to touch me."
Almost looked like Vince Young had a lane to cut back through.
This is close. This is going to be a close measurement right here.
Taylor did a good job to stretch it out, and he's got it. Not much, but he's got it.
Great individual effort, because it was read pretty darn well by Lindquist, but it was man-on-man out there, and Taylor is tough when you're one-on-one.
About 3 yards after he was hit.
Yeah, he made a quick cut. Well, they have so much acceleration. When they plant that back foot and cut and get upfield, wow, they separate.
So now 1st and goal on this drive that started back at the Texas 20.
Look at that, 43 opportunities, 31 touchdowns. Not too shabby. That's taking advantage. That's being efficient in the red zone.
Young looking on the waggle and wide of his intended target as he tried to get it over on that side to Nate Jones, the sophomore from Texarkana.
Good coverage. Recognition was there. Route recognition was handled very well by Anthony Arline, and he pressed the coverage pretty darn well. This is where Texas is so dynamic. You have Vince Young out of pocket, tuck it and run. You have David Thomas at one level, the All-American tight end to throw to, and then you have receivers at the next level in the end zone.
Charles stays in the backfield on 2nd and goal inside the 7. It'll be Jamal Charles bending it wide, making a miss, and he's in. Touchdown, Texas. What a job by Charles.
Speed kills, because that's pretty darn well defended. Montez Murphy, who's a gifted athlete at 6'6", 263 pounds. Charles just stretches him, and he just once he stretches him, he just plants that upfield foot on Willie Andrews and cuts it inside. This is a good football player, and he stretches him. Look at the cut he makes on Willie Andrews. That is just an incredible effort by Hugh Charles. Are you kidding me? Big time run.
And Melton's over on the sideline like, I can't believe you didn't need me. So somebody else besides Henry gets into the end zone. Pino for the point after. And it's a 20-0 lead now for the number 2 team in the nation. Huge favorites coming in. They look like they should be. All right, Michael. And Michael, don't take any grief off those bums in the studio today, please. We got your back, Eves. 2:58 to play. Baylor ready to get it back, but Greg Johnson should send it out of the end zone with a good stiff breeze at his back. And when we come back, the Baylor Bears just trying to get on the board now. They've had solid field position a couple of times. This time deep in their own territory. They get it back down to the number 2 team. Texas on top 20-0. Yeah, the Texas Longhorns, as Mac Brown has taken over. They have not lost to the Baylor Bears. Mitsubishi scoring drive, 14, taking almost 6 off the clock, covering 80 yards, and Jamal Charles with the touchdown run. So a 20-0 lead. In fact, Texas over the last 6 games has outscored Baylor 300-38. They've shut them out 3 of the 6 times. Beat them by an average of 50-6. On the delay, you would want to be Mosley on that play, would you? He is dropped in a big way back at the 15-yard line. That's just not fair. Rod Wright there.
Yeah, some unbelievable penetration and disruption. I mean, you know, offense is about rhythm and timing, and defense is about disrupting rhythm and timing. Right now, Texas's defense is disrupting Baylor's rhythm and timing.
Well, they came up to the line in a hurry like they were ready to go. Parks out of the gun. Wright flushes him out early, and now on the deep one, Ziegler can't get there. Up in his way with good coverage downfield. But that was just blown up early by the guys making the early penetration.
Sure was. I mean, everybody just took the gap up the football field. It was penetration and just try to meet at the quarterback. And right now, Texas's offensive line has taken control of the line of scrimmage, and Texas's defensive line is showing signs of doing the same thing. And when you're starting to dominate up front on both sides of the football, it can turn into a long day.
So it's going to be 3rd and 15. Parks keeping Mosley in the backfield. Again has to step up and won't get away. He's dragged down underneath, and on the sack for the Longhorns. Give it to Arakpo, the defensive end. And he's only getting the start due to the injury to Brian Robinson, who's not here. He didn't make the trip.
Yeah, absolutely, and he just does a great job of speed rush. I mean, he gets on the edge and stays after it. He beats Evan Stone and gets it done. Rod Wright doing a job inside as well. Big-time player. The rap on Rod Wright is he has to play hard every snap. I mean, he's so gifted. Sometimes some NFL scouts I'm talking to say that he takes some plays off. He's got to, you know, not do that, because when he is focused and playing at 100%, he is tough to block.
You know, right now Texas ready to get it back, and Aaron Ross should have it in Baylor territory. To me, it's an incredible project that Guy Morris is disappointing as it's been so far today. they brought the fans back, and that's a start.
Right.
They're averaging better than 40,000. That would rank 5th all-time here at Floyd Casey Stadium. There's just energy. There's a spirit about things when we come to Waco now.
Yeah, there is, and you look at what he's done. We had the Texas A&M game. Baylor won it, except for the scoreboard at the end of it. I mean, they dominated the football game. They lose in overtime to Oklahoma.
Right.
Either one of those games, if we'd gone their way, they'd only need one more for a bowl game. Now there's going to be a little bit more pressure on them against Missouri and Oklahoma State to sweep those two.
They feel like they can get 2 more wins on. That's half the battle.
Yeah, it's handled now. I mean, it can happen.
Now the low line drive. Returnable one for Harris from the 39. Making a miss. Look out. Now with the blocks downfield. Weaving his way inside the 30. And a great return with a late flag. He'll take it to the 23-yard line. So a block that was obviously illegal as he was trying to bend it a couple of different ways. Great job by Aaron Ross.
They have so many athletes and so much speed on this football team. It's incredible. It really is. I mean, they've got so much depth with that. Hard to match up with. Watch them make the first couple guys miss, and now you're out of your rush lanes a little bit. You know, you can't lose your lane integrity, and that's what happened in the first 2 cover guys.
Personal foul, offensive face mask, which is a 15-yard penalty against Texas. 15 yards at the end of the run, first down.
Well, as the block was being executed, there was a grabbing of the face mask, and that's going to cost him 15. But that doesn't diminish the effort by Ross.
Right, and you've got Aaron Ross, who we already talked about. Taylor, who's 11th in the nation, 29-yard average on kick returns. Ross also 11th in the nation with a 15-yard average on punt returns. What weapons?
Well, and Selvin Young is a great return guy. Hugh Charles could be a great return guy. Vince Young could be a great return guy. They have so many athletes to choose from. And speed is a factor. Speed does kill.
Vince Young. Too much time. And a completion for a 1st and goal. Beautiful ball to Billy Pittman. And then Pittman almost picking up a personal foul, stepping over the man late.
And these 2 guys are starting to get something going, a little bit of chemistry. And Pittman just runs a deep post. Nothing real fancy. He just gets inside of the defensive back, and Vince Young puts it right on his shoulder. Perfect throw.
Yeah, what's it about these former high school quarterbacks like Pittman? They turn out to be great wideouts.
They do. A lot of them do. I mean, they understand what the quarterback's looking for. They understand the holes that the quarterback's trying to achieve, you know, in zones to look for.
It's 1st and goal to the 9. Taylor. Lateral pursuit. Will it get to him? No. He's in. Touchdown, Texas. Lamont Taylor.
Pittman had the final block. Pittman did a good job of just sealing the perimeter. He got enough for Willie Andrews. Boy, again, Charles, Pittman, Ross. Watch, stretch it, and watch this block on the edge right there. Coming up right there. Pretty good effort by Pittman on Willie Andrews. Just enough. Ties him up enough where Andrews can't get out there and knock him out of bounds before Taylor gets the ball inside the pylon.
Well, another short field, another very quick drive by the Texas Longhorns. In less than 2 minutes as Pino punches it through. And it's now 27-0 Texas.
You know, sometimes you stretch the team horizontally. Look at stretching this team, or stretch the team vertically. Look at it being stretched horizontally here. I mean, Texas wanted to be balanced, and they wanted to make Baylor defend the whole field in the running game and the passing game. With all the speed Texas has, they make you defend the whole field vertically and horizontally. And Lamont Taylor, as fast as any of them, averaging 15 yards per touch on the season coming into today's game. And he's not doing much to damage that average.
Another short field. Man, they capitalize again. Give them credit. Pass play to Billy Pittman set it all up on 1st down. They get it to the Baylor 38. So there's talked about how they can hurt you in a hurry. That's 2 snaps and another score. So that's 21 drives this year of 4 plays or less.
Mouthpiece finally comes out. He's all business, and that's a long ride to nowhere there. I mean, you know, you just make sure you keep those hamstrings and groins loose. Stay loose. Stay after it.
It's amazing what they've done offensively this year. Yet they're losing ground in the BCS Bowl.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Virginia Tech, you know, if Virginia Tech beats Miami tonight,
right,
Virginia Tech's going to find themselves in pretty good position.
Johnson will kick it away as Sean Rashawn's over to the far side. Willie Andrews over to the near side. Will they get a shot, though? No. That's even to the end zone. Baylor is going to have it for the third consecutive time. 1st and 10 at their own 20. So Texas has lost a little ground to Virginia Tech, as I mentioned. UCLA, you know, undefeated as well. Then you've got Miami with a loss, LSU with a loss. Both those teams in the other polls, though, are actually ahead of undefeated UCLA. It's interesting the way things are panning out so far. But Miami on the road, that's the huge game later.
That is. That's the big tilt. I mean, if Miami upends Virginia Tech, I think it's a no-brainer that USC and Texas will be meeting in the Rose Bowl.
So now in the eye. Mosley, not much. It looked like the little guy and the smaller of the two, Brandon Whitaker, was more efficient. Now, he wasn't out there long, but boy, you better have a darter against Texas.
Yeah, you get a quick hit. There's no question about that. And now you find yourself, when you're down 27-0, I mean, you're one-dimensional. You have to throw the football. And Texas teed off on them in the last series. As Baylor's trying to throw the football 3 times, it's brutal to try to pass block these athletes.
And how tough is it to make your second career start like Terrence Parks is today, the quarterback? As Mosley's dropped short of the first down. They'll let it roll. Final 40 seconds of the first half. Because the overall team speed defensively is what we've been talking about for Texas. So Whitaker, we may see more of him in the second half. He's at 5'10", 190. Mosley at 6'3", 230.
I think that guy should be pleased with what he saw at Terrence Parks. You know, the evaluation against a team like Texas's defense, that's a tough evaluation, or a tough team to go up against to get evaluated. I thought he played positively. I thought his decision-making was authoritative. I thought he made plays. His teammates didn't catch everything they should have.
Now on 3rd down, Ziegler's got it. He's got the first down. We'll have one more snap to the half with 2 seconds to play in the first 30 minutes. He's out of bounds at the 34.
But it's not an enviable position to be in. 4 scores down to the #2 team in the country with as solid a defense as Texas has. That's the evaluation will continue, and see how he handles that phase of it in the second half.
So Terrence Parks, who threw for better than 2,600 yards. He played his high school ball in Lufkin. He ran for better than 700 his senior season. He can motor. We've already seen that. Now buying some time. Little dump off, and that'll do it. As Brown was just playing and making sure that Ziegler didn't get behind him. So a very impressive first half for the #2 team in the nation. Almost like a home game. They've got half of the stadium filled with Birds Orange around here.
Tell you, they took care of business. You know, that stumbling a little bit in the first half last week against Oklahoma State like they did was a wake-up call.
Let's head downstairs. John Radigan.
With Mac Brown and Coach, after last week's first half, you've got to be awfully pleased with the way the team responded in this week's first half.
Well, we are, John. Baylor's been playing better than Oklahoma State coming into this game. This is a much more competitive Baylor team than we've seen over the last 3 weeks, and we probably needed last week. But now we got to play a second half like we did last week.
Well, and you obviously have some things to do. There were some pre-snap penalties and things you got to work on still in the second half.
Right? Where I didn't think we were as sharp as we need to be. They hit a couple of screens on us and squirted a couple of runs up inside. So we've got to play better the second half.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Good
John.
luck in the second half. That is Mac Brown. His team with a big lead, though, 27-0. We'll be busy here at Floyd Casey Stadium at halftime. Both bands are here, and, of course,